Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to a new replay. I'm gonna be doing Tracy on the Sega Genesis. This is one of the games that I did on the Retro Gaming Rangers back in 2009. Developed by Touchstone in 1990. Actually, this is a game, I think I was requested this game. I'm going to increase the amount of credits just in case. But don't worry, I will be doing enough editing for you not to see me die or anything, because this game actually got me killed a lot. A dynamite case begins. Tracy declares the war on Big Boy. I remember watching the Dick Tracy cartoon as a kid. It was a short cartoon though. Tracy gets a lead. So he's going after Big Boy. So yeah, this game is basically a platformer slash... It's not a run and gun because he doesn't run, just walks. It kind of reminds you, or might remind you of Rolling Thunder, for example. It's the very similar type of gameplay, but you also use the machine gun to shoot to the other side of the streets. You can also jump in order to avoid bullets. And you have a certain amount of health. You can take up to 3 hits, I believe, because every bullet takes 2 health squares, or whatever you want to call them. Those yellow squares at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, the gameplay could remind you of, as I said before, Rolling Thunder. It's basically that. It's basically Rolling Thunder. With that little modification. See, I took a shot and I got reduced to 4 health squares, if you want to call them like that. As I said before, I actually watched the Dick Tracy cartoon as a kid, of course not understanding the whole idea behind the content, because I was a very... I don't know, I was like 6 or 7 when they aired this on TV, because, well, again, I wasn't mature enough to understand the plots or whatever. I believe this was a comic as well, I'm not so sure. And it got a very peculiar name also, right? You don't need me to mention that. I'm gonna be doing, each stage... He's out of bullets. Yeah, there is also sections in which I have to punch. Because, as you can tell, they are making up excuses for me not to be able to shoot. But basically, one fist, either on the face or on the dick, they die. And the enemy is going to be changing patterns. No, they're going to be either shooting 3 times and then reloading the gun, or throwing bombs, as you could see. So yeah, I was mentioning, there are... I don't remember if there are 6 or 7 big stages with 3 sections or mini levels each. 1A, 1B, and 1C, so on and so forth. And in the letter C stage, you fight a boss. So 2 levels and a boss battle. That's what it is, basically. Yeah, in this case, you can make choices. I'm trying to take the safest route for me not to encounter so many enemies, especially trying to avoid the ones that shoot bullets. Those blue guys only use, they get close to you and use punch. I did have to take a hit there because I was getting surrounded. Actually, not every hit removes 2 yellow squares. I have 3 right now, so yeah, the punch, I got punched by an enemy, it reduces only 1 health points. And that's the end of the level. Yeah, you do have to take certain hits in order to move faster. Otherwise you're gonna get stuck and gonna get even more hits. The wrong side of the tracks. Seeing letter C. Here's the boss battle. Itchy. Good name. So yeah, pretty much all of the bosses will show up on the other side of the screen, so you have to use your machine gun in order to attack them. But you also have to be moving forward and dealing with enemies right in front of you and also on the other side of the screen. And sometimes these enemies, these bosses, will have special attacks that you will have to deal with eventually. But you usually try to get rid of enemies first and then the boss. Usually. Which doesn't mean I do it all the time. But sometimes you just encounter the boss and there are no enemies around. Breaking windows as well. I guess that's for the points, I don't know. I haven't noticed. And sometimes, yeah, you are not gonna be able to move forward anymore, so you basically have to wait for the boss to show up. Deal with the enemies as well. Okay, that was unfair, definitely. So yeah, staying in the middle of the screen would be a better idea, I would say. That was my fault in a way. How about the boss's energy is gone? See, I tried to shoot at the boss, but this enemy, especially the guys rolling, quite annoying. Well, sometimes in order to finish the battle, we just wait there till the boss shows up and pretty much dies. You don't have to be moving forward all the time, there will be a limit, a dead end, and a win. Trying to get information. And after every stage, there will be a bonus game that will allow you to earn extra credits depending on how well you do. You can even get up to 3 credits in every bonus stage, which basically consists of shooting the bad guys and making the good guys survive. The cops are good guys, they are cooks. Mailman. So if you do this good, 22 bad guys hit and none missed, and I didn't shoot any good guy. So basically you earn extra credits, up to 3 even. Let's do stage number 2 then. 7th Street Warehouse. These warehouses will be very common environment for these levels. So now I'm back to the bullet part, of course. Well, I did get my gun back when I fought the boss. The music is okay for the most part. I mean, you don't expect great music out of this game that takes place like in the 30s, 40s, I don't know. But I guess it's fine for the Sega Genesis. I don't remember Sega Genesis games with very terrible soundtrack. In general, they make an effort to make it sound at least enjoyable for the type of gameplay we're dealing with. This is one of the things I usually don't like from these games. I mean, if all enemies appear from the front, it will be, of course, a lot easier, but when you're dealing with enemies from behind, as you could see, these enemies with short swords, it's not even a knife anymore, it's a gigantic knife for the fact. Yeah, it becomes annoying when you deal with enemies from behind. It usually happens in a lot of genres, even in shooters and beat-em-ups, which are 2 of my favorite genres, as you well know. So you're gonna deal with those annoying surprise enemies from behind. Or as it happened in the boss battle, from below, they are rolling and suddenly shooting right in your face. You have no time to react in there. Well, you can change the level of difficulty if that's a problem, and also the bonus game is meant to be wind. I don't know how to say it. Okay, this is another, I think this is the last type of gameplay that is introduced in the game, which basically consists of driving section in which you don't drive, you basically have to shoot enemies that are moving in their cars. And you can either duck or get above the car for 2 seconds, which you perform it with a jump button. So you have to deal with enemies from the front as well as from the background. And there is a progress meter at the top, as you can see. I got like 20-25% of the level completed by now. But yeah, you can pretty much know when the level is going to finish. I haven't noticed that detail in the other levels, I didn't really pay attention to that. But the levels in general are relatively short. I would say the longer levels in each world are the boss battles, basically. And you can consider the boss's energy as, let's say, the level length in general. Most of the enemies will appear from the background though, something you have to bear in mind, so most of your attention has to be focused on the background more than the enemies on the front. But the enemies from the front, the few times that they appear, actually can cause you the most damage. So whenever they appear, either behind or in front of you, you gotta pay extra attention. And they show their faces, their heads, like 1 second before they come out, so you are able to predict in a way. For example, that guy, this other guy, purple. So you are able to predict 1 second in advance. It's not a complete surprise. And I made it. So there is one more level to go, a boss battle. A brow beaten under the L. The L? And he got TNT. This is at one sort of annoying boss. This is the first big annoying boss. The first one actually just went running all the time. But this one sets TNT right next to you. He appears right below or right behind these columns or these metal drums and puts the TNT right there. Or throw it, making part of the ceiling fall, and of course damaging you. Also about to say, one of the characteristics of these bosses, they all have beautiful faces. You will see, especially in the, I think in stage 3 and 4, since I already practiced through those levels. Yeah, the bosses got very beautiful faces. Of course, they're gonna shoot TNT from the background and you will have to avoid it, but you can perfectly. They will shoot to your current position, so in that sense you can avoid it like 1 second before it falls. And avoiding the ceiling attack, let's say, it's relatively easy as well. He keeps insisting with TNT coming out of nowhere. He's off screen. I don't know how he does that. He goes through one side of the screen, appears on the other, like 1 second before. He fucking teleports, because video games. And technology for the 1940s. Absolutely. Right now, since no enemies are showing up, it means that I have to go forward, or I can go forward. The bro, he's almost dead. I mean, not almost, but most of his energy is gone. Yeah, I prefer to wait for a few seconds to see if the boss eventually wants to show up again. I know enemies are appearing from the front or behind. I'm mostly dealing with the boss. Well, I have enough work to do avoiding those TNTs. So yeah, this is probably the last screen I have to... Yeah, he's dead basically now. He's going after Big Boy's Nitro. Alright, we're gonna do the bonus run, of course. To get some more extra credits. I don't know. The 3 guys were good. There's a cook, I believe. I assume it is. Okay, that was easy. I guess there will be less turn-ons with the time in the next bonus rounds. This one was easy because I was able to... Yeah, 3 credits, I have 10. Wow. I started with 5. Yeah, then I got 2 more and then 3, I guess. Okay, I think it's a good time for me to end the video. We're gonna go hit in the streets to get Lips, which is the name of the next guy, on the next video. So, thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you later.